Hi, I'm Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training, and today I've got Ivy in the crate with me. Very excited to send her to you and do this demonstration. Before we dive in and kind of start showing you the things that Ivy has learned, I want to touch base on just a couple things. First and foremost, you should have watched that first introductory video that goes over the 3 keys to success, the potty training and the crate training expectations. The other thing that I want to discuss is just how this video is going to be laid out. So we are going to start with our manners, then we'll go into our obedience commands, and we will finish up with our leash work. Now, Ivy is just a little girl, so has a very short attention span, and a lot of our training sessions are broken up and are extremely short because she does just wear out really quickly. She's also super sensitive. So if I have to correct her, just to let us know, and she just kind of shuts down. So sometimes we got to pull out some cheese and we've got to try and help her work through that. We spend a lot of time just trying to build her confidence, but she is just still a very, very sensitive girl. But she's also just super sweet and very affectionate, very lovey little puppy, but just doesn't have the biggest attention span and is very sensitive. So just wanted to cover that first and foremost. Now we are going to dive into her manners. So the first manner that I am going to show you is her gates and doorways. So we have taught Ivy anytime she comes out of the crate, or we go through a closed door together, or if we go through a gate outside, just any closed door, closed threshold that we're going through together, I expect her to hold an automatic stay. Now, I don't care whether she's sitting, standing, laying down. She just needs to show me that she's in control and she's waiting patiently for me to release her through. You can create the same expectation with any threshold in your home. Like I said, for us at this stage, we're doing it with every closed door or gate that we go through together, or anytime I let her out of the crate. So bare minimum, I would make sure that you keep this expectation with coming in and out of the crate and exterior doors at your home. Those are probably the 2 biggest times where a lot of times our puppies get excited and we need to help them with that impulse control. So I am going to pull Ivy out now, so that way you can see that doorway, you can see the way that she holds it here for the crate. I will put a leash on her, and then I'm going to walk over and we're going to have her ring the bells, and I will then show you the threshold going outside. Now, Ivy, being a little bit more reserved, sometimes she hits the bells really softly, so we've been trying to encourage her to hit them a little bit harder. So you may notice me work on that and show you how to do that, how to get her to ring them harder. But a lot of it's just patiently waiting and then marking once she does the behavior. So we are going to get her out now. So when I open the door, I am going to be prepared that she may break, and if she breaks, I will just simply close the door. I might tell her no. It just depends on how eager she is to come out. Now, if I did open this, or we went through the house door and she just bolted through, I'm always going to go and get her and then help her succeed. Because I don't want her thinking that if she's fast enough, if she's sneaky enough, she can get away with ignoring those thresholds. We really need to make sure that we help her with that impulse control. So I'm going to let her out now. Okay, good girl, Ivy. And here, I am waking her up from her nap, so she's a little hesitant to come out. So oh, good girl. There we go, got to wake her up. Oh yeah, that's a good dog. And then we'll hook this leash on her. Yeah, good girl, Ivy. And we'll walk her over to the door now. Ivy. And have her ring the bells. Okay, good girl. So that one was a little bit soft, so I'm going to have her do it again, and we'll hope for something a little bit harder. Okay, outside, good girl. So a little bit more there, and then we'll go outside. Oh, so there she tried to kind of quickly go out. I did have the leash attached, so it was just a simple correction. Like I said, she's very sensitive, so I don't want to correct her hard. But now she's paying attention to me, she's waiting, she's in control, and so I'll just say, okay, good girl, and let her go through. So same expectation coming in. I don't care what position she's in. She's just waiting patiently for me to release her. Okay, Ivy. Good girl. Okay. Oh, watch out. Good girl. Okay. So now we are going to talk about her greeting. Ivy, come here. Oh, good girl. Good. So her greeting is a replacement behavior for jumping. This is my expectation that any time that she's real excited or she comes over and she wants my attention, that she's going to sit to get it. So that way, once again, she's not jumping up, she's not pawing, not nipping at me. It gives her a way or an outlet to get my attention. So we definitely don't want to ignore this behavior. When she approaches you and sits down, definitely pay attention to her. Oh, good girl, huh? Good girl. And this is also going to be the first exercise that you do with Ivy, is our sit to greet exercise. It's also an engagement exercise, so it's just going to get her focusing on you and presenting that sit. Oh, good girl. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your leash and your treats, and you're just going to say her name, gently guide her over to you. Once she sits, I'll say okay, and then I'll do it again. So I'm going to do this 3 times. So it looks like this, and if she's a little hesitant, because I did brush her this morning and she was not happy about that. Plus we went to the vet and got her rabies. So she definitely I am not her biggest fan right now because I tortured her and she's a little sensitive that way. So once again, what this looks like, I'll just say, Ivy, take a few steps back. I'm gonna wait for her. Okay, good girl. So she sits, I say, okay, give her a treat. Ivy, come here. Good girl. Okay. So I'm going to do this 3 times. Ivy. Good girl. Okay. Now, if any point during this, if she tried to jump up, I would tell her no, off, and I would step into her. So you never have to be very firm. It's just a quick little step, and I usually bend my knee, and she understands that I don't like that behavior. If she was jumping up on a table or on the couch, I would just say no, off, and I might clap to help that kind of drive that point home. If I'm down at her level and I'm petting her and she tries to climb into my lap, I'm just going to gently tell her off and scoot her back. So I mean, it's easy to let her get away with some of these behaviors because she is so small and she is so affectionate, but I don't want her thinking that just because she's small, she can be ill-mannered. And that's kind of the same thing if I was petting her and she started mouthing on me, started chewing on my watch or my bracelet, anything like that, I would just tell her no and close her mouth. I never have to be very firm. Once again, if I'm firm with Ivy, she just shuts down. She is super, super, super sensitive. Huh. And that's why, like I said, because I brushed her today and I took her to the vet, she is just, it's been a big day. Huh? We'll just put it that way. Been a big day. Yeah, you're a good girl. But we have spent a lot of time handling Ivy, handling her ears, her muzzle. Oh, yeah. Teethers. Brushing her. We brush her pretty well every day. We've done some trimming, both nails and hair. Oh, good girl. Helping her just be comfortable that way. Yeah, huh. And that's something that's important to continue to do, just help her feel confident. I don't want to coddle her. So if I were clipping her nails and she seemed really sad or was trying to pull her paw away, I might just stop for a second, help her feel confident, reward her for being confident, and then continue to go to clip. I don't want to, oh, it's okay. Then I'm going to coddle that behavior, and she's always going to be timid from getting groomed or getting her nails clipped. So it is very important that we continue to handle her, and we help her build confidence. Yeah, are you a good girl? Okay. If she jumped up at all, so if I were reared up for a treat, come here, Ivy. So if I were giving her this treat and she tried to rear up, I would just pull it away and tell her no, or I might even tell her gently, which gently is our command to take treats softly, which has never been an issue for Ivy. She's got a very soft mouth and is very good about being polite. So that's our greeting, gently and off. So the other thing with the greeting, this is my expectation for Ivy, for me, because we have a relationship. With strangers, it's a little bit different. So one, I don't want Ivy to think that she needs to meet every new person. So when you're out and about, if you're on a leash, if you're walking her, 95% of the time, tell people no, they cannot meet Ivy. If you let everybody meet her, you're either going to get a very anxious dog that is terrified to go out because she thinks everybody's going to approach her, or you're going to get a dog that pulls because she wants to meet everyone and every new dog. Which one, with other dogs approaching, I tell everybody no. We are not meeting, my dog does not need to meet another dog on leash on a walk. That's an absolute no-go. It never ends well. When I'm meeting another person, like I said, 95% of the time, I'm going to tell them no. And the polite way to do that is just say, no, she's in training. And then you can step to the side and you can engage with Ivy and have her do this greeting for you, help her be in control so that she learns that strangers are just something to be ignored. But maybe that 5% of the time, maybe there's a small child or it's somebody you know, then it's okay. And Ivy, come here. When I do that, I'll tell people, yes, this is Ivy. She does need to be in control. Come here. And I might walk her up. We'll stop a few feet short, and then I can invite that person over. This way I'm prepared to correct Ivy if she does get out of control. Because one, it's really hard to correct these little dogs when they're getting, well, and I don't even want to say that. It's just really hard to correct your dog in front of strangers, and strangers will always say, oh no, it's okay that they're jumping. I love dogs. Or, oh, it's okay, she's so small, she can do that. And then she gets away with being ill-mannered because it's okay to do that with strangers. She knows that she doesn't get corrected with strangers. So this way, if I'm planted here and I allow these people to walk up and meet her, now I am prepared to correct her if needs be. And if she got out of control, I would just tell her no, and I'd simply walk away. So distance is going to be your best friend. There's always an amount of distance that you can get to where Ivy will regain some control. So the greeting, I have different expectations with strangers than with myself or people that she has regular interactions with. With me, I expect this greeting. I expect her to be very polite. With strangers, I'm going to advocate for her. I'm going to help her succeed, and I'm going to limit the exposure with a lot of new people. Huh. You look like you're about to fall asleep, sister. Oh, good girl. Okay. So mealtime manners, anytime I feed Ivy, I expect her to hold an automatic sit-stay. So I shook that bowl and she immediately planted herself. Nope. So there, good. Okay, good girl. So there, when I set the bowl down, it kind of clattered and she broke. So I just simply picked it up and reset her. So every time I'm expecting her to hold that sit-stay. Good girl. So just to show you again, I shake that bowl, she sits down, I set it down, stand up, back away. Okay, good girl. And then she's free to eat. Huh. Yeah, huh. Which she's not, she definitely eats her kibble, but she's not like a huge kibble eater. A lot of times she won't quite finish her meal. Which is totally fine. She's a little dog. She doesn't need a crazy amount of food. Good girl. About toy, huh? Okay. No, you don't want to play. You just want the treats in my bag, huh? Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. Oh, Ivy. Okay, come on. What about a bully stick? Okay. So you hold on to a bully stick. So what I want to do is talk about the drop it command. But a lot of times once I start giving her treats, she kind of says, forget about any toys. Just give me the cheese. That's what she really loves. She loves cheese. She's a bit picky, on your treats. And I was hoping that she'd pick up this bully stick so I could show you drop it. When I ask for that command, I'll say her name, and then there will be a brief pause. Then I ask for the drop it, and I expect her to let go of it, which she's really good about. I'm hoping she'll pick this up here. But even chewing on it, if she'll chew on it, I'll show you. Because the expectation is the same, and it's the same whether she picks up something she's not supposed to and I need her to let go, or she picks up a shoe, has something like a bully stick or a toy, which with the toy, a lot of times before I give her any treats, I'll get that toy out, and I can just incorporate myself into her play, and that's where I really like to work on this command. Yeah, you're not going to hold on to anything, huh? Yeah. Ivy, drop it. Good girl. Okay. So she let go of it, and I'm just going to give it back to her, see if she'll actually take it and want to chew on it. Ivy, drop it. Good girl. So there you can see that she just let go of it. Of course, you're going to burrow in, huh? Good girl. Yeah. I'm going to let her chew on this again, show you one more time. It's not a big drastic motion. It's just her letting go of it. Huh. Ivy, drop it. Good girl. Good girl. So, super, super simple. Yeah. Are you a good dog? And like I said, if she's chewing on something she's not supposed to, it's the same expectation. Although if she's chewing on something like a sock or maybe a table leg, something like that, I'll tell her no and drop it, and then I'll give her something to chew on. So I'll always replace. If she's chewing on something soft, I'll give her something soft. If she's chewing on something hard, I'll give her something hard. If I can match the texture, I match the needs of her mouth. Because right now she's in the middle of teething, and so she just absolutely needs to chew. And it's important that we give her different things to chew on based on what her mouth needs. Which, hey, you just want to be pet. Yeah. Like I said, super, super affectionate. Okay. I believe that's all of our manners. So now we're going to hop into our obedience commands. All right, so the first command that we're going to show you is Ivy's place command, which is probably her favorite command. And that's because I sent her to her place and then she gets lots of treats for staying there. So when I asked for this command, which I actually didn't send her here, so I'm going to try and get her off. Come here, Ivy. Come here. Good girl. So when I actually sent her, I'm going to say, Ivy, place, and I'll point, and she'll go and hop on. Once she's on, good girl. With all 4 paws, I will give her a treat, and now she's expected to stay. Now, as she continues to stay, I will continue to reinforce this behavior. So right now she's doing a couple minutes in place with various distractions. The harder the distraction, the more I'll come up and reinforce it. Good girl. If it's just me and her in here and maybe I'm doing dishes, like that's not that hard of a distraction, so I'm not going to reinforce it near as often. Whereas, you know, if I've got my kids here or we've got other dogs or the cats running around, then maybe that's a little bit harder distraction, so I'm going to reinforce it more often. Some of the harder distractions we also add in are like leaving the room. That's a big one because sometimes they think, oh, we must have forgot about him because we're no longer here. So we're going to test that with Ivy right now. I'm going to step out and we'll see what she does. Good girl. So now let's make it just a hair harder. I'll step out for a little bit longer. Oh, good girl. Good girl. So real life applications are somebody comes to the door. we can send her to her place. Maybe you need to bring in groceries, you just need her out from underneath her feet, send her to her place. Our goal for this behavior, or this command, is for it to be universal, that I can send her to anything with a defined boundary. So we've been practicing that with Ivy using boxes or rugs or anything like that. So there's a lot of applications here. It just takes some consistency and some practice. And once she's finished, I just say, okay, good girl. And then she's free to come off. Notice I don't give her a treat for coming off, I just pet her. Ivy, place, good girl. Good. So I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to jump up there. Okay, good girl. So very similar is the crate command. Ivy, come here. And I just tell her crate, and she goes in. Once she turns around, I give her that treat, and she's expected to stay until released. Okay, good girl. Ivy, come here. Crate, no. Good. So notice she was a little bit confused, so I just tapped on the top. She went right in. Okay, good girl. Crate. Good girl. Okay. When you're introducing a new crate, if she's really hesitant, you may have to like stick your hand in the crate and guide her in. And then when she turns around, you can give her that treat. Okay, good girl. And this is a command that I like to practice a lot, because if I only use it when I'm going to lock her up, she's going to recognize that, and then she'll build an aversion to the crate, and she'll run away when you ask it. So keep this positive, practice it a lot, and just make it fun. Ivy loves to train for about 5 minutes, so if you can keep it fast-paced running around, it's a lot of fun for her. And these are definitely her favorite commands, are kind of the place commands. The place command and the crate command. Okay, so then we have a few hand signals. So we have sit, which is a little scoop over the nose. Down, which is a flat palm, and we're going towards the ground. Now I always do come off to the side, because if I come right in front of her, sometimes she's focusing on my hand, and she doesn't pay attention to what I'm asking. So sit, down, and then stay is a stop sign. So I'm going to move this bed here. Oh, good girl. Because otherwise, she wants to climb on it. And we'll show you. Ivy, come here. Good girl. Now you're all excited, huh? Sit. Good girl. Down. So here she seems a little confused. So I'm going to get lower. No. Okay, good girl. Notice she was a little bit confused, so instead of repeating myself, I just got a little bit lower, and she kept kind of popping up. So we're going to do that one more time. Come here, Ivy. Good girl. Sit. Down. No. Stay. And now I'm going to add the stay in. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So we have both a sit and a down stay. So Ivy, sit, stay. Now if she's in the sit stay and she lays down, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if I put her in a down stay, she's not allowed to come up. Okay, good girl. So she's doing about 20 seconds. With, some simple distractions. We're working on more and more distractions, but that's just where she's at about right now. Ivy, sit. Good. Down. So here we're going to get lower again. No. Stay. No. So there's a break. Sit, down. No. This has been her least favorite command. Stay. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So notice I'm not getting frustrated, but if she breaks once or twice, I'll simply tell her no and have her do it again. Where if she breaks a third time, it's too hard. Whether she's just tired or she's worn out, or she's just checked out, shut down, it's too hard. So I always want to end on a success, so I'll simplify that behavior and ask for a very simple or a short downstay, and then be done for a little bit. And you know, sometimes she might have been doing it 5 minutes ago, and then all of a sudden she's struggling, and that's okay, that happens. It's just important not to be frustrated with her and just help her succeed. And a lot of times when I'm working on downstay, I'll mix in the crate or the place command because she does love those a little bit more. So that way I can keep things fun and energetic for her. Huh. Ivy, place. Good girl. Okay, good girl. Sit. Good. Down. Yep, we're just kind of struggling today with the down. Stay. Notice how she keeps coming forward though when I get lower and my hand's in front of her nose, because she's checking to see if there's a treat in there. Okay, good girl. Okay. And with any of this, I mean, if you have questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Give me a call. So now we're going to work on her leave it command. So I'm going to put a couple treats on the floor, and then as she approaches, I'll ask for a leave it. And anytime that I set her up and I'm using food, and really this is with any of our commands, if I'm setting her up, I always want to be prepared to follow through and to help her succeed. So if I have to, I'm going to grab her leash and just tell her, leave it. No, leave it. Good. So you can tell like she's invested there. And I was prepared to step in, and she's clearly still invested, but now where I've said leave it, I expect her to just completely leave it alone, and I should be able to walk away from it. Ivy. Good girl, good girl. So we try and set her up with a lot of different variations to this, both, you know, household items or food, like if you were cooking and you dropped something, you needed her to leave it alone, as well as we practice a lot on our walks, because there's always something in the street. And Ivy loves to pick up everything. So we've practiced leave it outside a lot. And if we were on a walk and saw something like this, and I would usually put myself between her and the object, that's sometimes not a possibility. Come here. So if we were walking past it, I could just tell her, Ivy, leave it. Good girl, good girl. And I'll reward her as we quickly get past. Good girl, Ivy. So now let's see. Good girl. You can see now, she's like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to go near that, so we're going to give it a wide berth. We'll see if she'll walk past it. Ivy, come here. Oh, good girl. Yeah, that's a good dog. Okay. So now, I am going to quickly just switch the camera angle, and we're going to see if we can't cover her leash work. In fact, where I've got a little cloud cover, we might try and go outside for this, because I can definitely tell that she's losing some steam. So I'm hoping maybe if we go outside, she'll be able to finish out our recall command as well as our leash work, which our leash work covers heel, the long lead and off leash walks, as well as that recall and engagement. So let me switch some stuff around and we'll keep going. So we're going to start with our heel. So the heel is for you. This is not how we exercise Ivy. Good girl. This is how we get around distractions and we get from point A to point B. Good girl, heel. So in the heel, she's close to me. She's on my left side. Good girl. And periodically looking up. Good dog, good girl. And I give her a lot of feedback. Good. And when I stop, I expect her to stop. Good girl, heel. So if we're using this to get past distractions, I better be pretty distracting myself. Come on. So I give her a lot of feedback. And now if we are passing a distraction, I always have her on my left, so I try and put the distraction on my right. Good girl. So once again, we're doing this in short bursts, usually maybe 5 minutes max. Good girl. And honestly, that would be if we took her into a store or into public, and we would probably even break that up a little bit. So short attention span. This is a very focus-based activity. This is also going to be the part that requires the most practice, and that's because Ivy needs to trust you. If she's going to ignore other distractions around or other dogs, she needs to have a lot of trust in you. Huh. Are you a good girl? Heel. Good girl. Now, no matter the length of the leash, Ivy, good girl, is never allowed to pull. So if she just seems a little distracted, good girl, I'll just usually say her name and be like, Ivy. Oh, good girl. Just something like that to get her focus back. If she started to actually pull, then I would tell her no, and I would just pop that leash. It's not hard. Usually it's like a finger, pop, pop, and help her regain her focus. If she focuses, I'll tell her, good girl, and I'll give her a treat, and we'll keep walking. If she ignores me, I'll do that one more time. So I'd say, no, pop, pop. I'd get a little bit more firm. So it's light, no, pop, pop. She ignores me, no, pop, pop. Little deeper, little more firm. If she continued to pull, I'm going to come to a complete stop. It's like, if you want to progress, if you want to see that distraction, you have to be under control. If we're not under control, we're not going to go forward. And at this point, if she can look at me, give me a little bit of attention, then we'll start working on it. We'll start healing again. But the moment that she starts pulling again, I'm going to turn her around, and we'll do a quick corrective U-turn. And this can be one of two ways. With Ivy, I don't like to, I try not to put very much pressure on her at all. And so if I'm walking her, come on, heel. Yep, you're getting tired. If she starts to pull, say she's out in front of me, I'm going to step around her, good girl, and redirect her back this way. The other way to do a corrective U-turn is to let her get out in front of you, and then I just kind of turn away from her real quick. Good girl. But once again, I don't like to put too much pressure on her because she is very, very sensitive. If she seems to be reactive, come here. You are so tired, huh? So she's barking at something, she's not focusing on you, then I'm going to engage with her instead of work on this heel. So engagement follows similar steps. So if I came to a complete stop and she's bark, 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 then I will step between her and the distraction, and I will get some distance. So distance is always your friend. Like I said, there's always an amount of distance that we can get to help Ivy calm down. So whether that's 10 feet or whether that's 100 feet, we're going to get some distance to help regain her focus. Once we have that distance, then I'm going to stand between her and the distraction. So my back's towards the distraction. Good girl. And I will reward simple victories. Oh, you're sitting? Good girl. You're not barking? Good dog. Watch me. Oh, good girl. You're looking at me? Reward that. And as she comes out of this reactive state, then we can even start to walk closer to the distraction. But if she starts to react, I step between her, help her focus, and then open back up. Now, I want to kind of practice engagement as much as I can. So it's a confidence building exercise, and especially with little dogs, they're more prone to get reactivity, especially these Cavapoos. And so if you can set up a time to where you can just go and sit and watch the world go by, do it. I like to go sit on a park bench, and I will reward her for just being calm. Oh, somebody walked past? Good dog, good girl. Somebody rode past on a bike? Good girl. A stroller? Good girl. A dog? Good girl. And I'm just rewarding calm behavior. And she is going to pass out. So that's the heel, pulling, and engagement. Now we have our long lead walk, which here, as you can see, I mean, we have a lot more space, so she does get some off-leash walks. She loves those off-leash walks. A lot of times she stays really close because she just wants the treats and she just wants to be with you. She's not much of an adventurer, but we do still put her on a long lead and practice. So the long lead is my preferred method of exercising our dog. This gives her the ability to run around and to play and to check things out, but I still have control. Good girl. And I probably should have grabbed the blue one because it's a little bit shorter. This black one's 15 feet, which for a lot of dogs, this is a great length to where they can still explore and have a good time, but they're close enough that I can reel them in. And so I would just go at Ivy's pace. She wants to stop and sniff the flowers. We're going to stop and sniff the flowers. I get used to stepping over it, switching hands, because I just want her to, see the world around her, to check things out, to run around and play. Oh, now we're going to pee. Good girl. And anytime that she gets to the end of the leash, she's still not allowed to pull, and that's when I call her back to me. So our recall command is going to be our come command. So when I ask for that, I'll say her name, and then there's a brief pause to make sure she's paying attention, and then I say come. So it's Ivy, come. Good girl, good girl. Okay. The moment that she turns around and starts coming back to me, I say good girl to encourage that and tell her she's doing the right thing. And then once she gets to me, I say okay. So it's Ivy, come. Good girl, good girl, okay. And the nice thing about the long lead is if she ever fails, I can just simply tell her no and reel her in. So this is one to practice a lot. The come command is your most important command. It can be a life-saving command, and so we want to practice that as much as possible. And being on the long lead is a very positive way to practice that. She can explore, she can be a dog, but then we're really working on our recall. She gets a treat and gets to go again. So, now we're gonna go and poop. Perfect. And that's one of my favorite things about a long lead walk, is getting her moving around and exercising so that she'll go to the bathroom. If she ever is off leash and you call her to come and she ignores you, you have to go and get her. So usually I can play a little reverse psychology. Oh, good girl. And I can usually just clap and say, oh, good girl, Ivy, good girl. And she'll follow me. But if she didn't, I would tell her no, and I would go and get her. Good dog. And then I would put a long lead on and practice. So, and it sounds like she's not going to be doing very much off leash, which is fine. But it is something where we want that recall in place for the instances where she may be off leash. But okay, so that is Ivy's demo. I apologize that it might be broken up a little bit. Said had to take a couple minute breathers there in between, give her a second to recoup. She's definitely exhausted. It's been a big day. But if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I look forward to sending her to you. Thanks.